kick off and we'll jump in whenever you feel like. Thank you so much, Monika, for that. Like what Ben said initially, that being open and transparent about this whole issue that you brought to discuss, and showing that willingness to look at it through different lenses as well. I just have a couple of questions, because you mentioned talking to that NLP coach before. So I'm just curious, what do you appreciate most about today's conversation compared to other conversations that you might have had on the topic?
I think both have given me the way or the process of learning more about myself. NLP has a different methodology, so it's a completely more like diving deeper into the past time and be connected to the first event that happened, and I was just, you know, being in the same, let's say, emotional statement all the time when the similar situation arrived. But today, it's, of course, it's more about the power of questions and going through my own feelings, thoughts, what I have been thinking about myself, what I have been learning. It's, of course, it's powerful, and I can feel like might be with me longer, you know, because anytime I have this challenge again with me without any coach around, I can ask the same questions, so I can use them.
Nice. I love how you put it, that looking at more into the past and delving versus you exploring what you are looking at right now, and then being able to take that into the future when you feel that other thoughts coming up. That is put beautifully. Fabulous. And just one more thing, and then maybe I'll pass it on to Maribel. What would you like to say to our audience here about your personal experience with this transformational encounter?
First of all, it's interesting how we had shifted my, let's say, topic, which was my how to reprogram my mind. So it was my focus, or I thought this is my focus. And then when we went through, and then he challenged me and say, hey, the focus is not the mindset. It's more about you want to share your life with someone else. And, you know, like, what? I felt like, why, where we are now. So it's always, for me, it's great to have someone who can hear you and listen to you and give you a feedback about, hey, actually, this is not your struggle, and it might be your strength. You have something a little bit different inside you saying or asking for help you cannot see.
That is so well put, if I may be a bit bold to summarize it. So what I gathered was, instead of looking at fixing or resolving what the initial issue seemed to be, you now feel that you were listened to and really heard, and you kind of, to put it in CMA speak, seem to have a heightened awareness, like that coach really served you, of seeing who you really are and coming to terms with what is going on, really going on in your mind and who you are as a person.
Yeah, but I think this goes hand in hand with becoming more vulnerable and be open and trust the coach that it's fine to to discover a little bit more and, dive deeper. So it means that it can help you to go to the roots of the problem and move on.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I'm so happy that you have now given yourself permission to say to that, am I enough personification knocking at the door to say, hey, I'm not going to open that door. And you stated that so boldly with so much of conviction, and that was beautiful to watch. So thank you so much. I'll pass it on to Maribel if you want to jump in with a few questions.
Thank you.
Thank you, Manju. I just have one question for you, Monika. That was so wonderful. So you mentioned about wanting your inner voice to speak louder, and then you ended with the song "We Are the Champion."
Yes.
So I was wondering what statement you'd be taking away as we ended the conversation.
You mean the statement related to my inner voice?
Yeah, inner voice, and yeah, you are the champion.
I think that the song "We Are the Champions" has a kind of because it's been used during the Olympic Games, and for me there is a power of teamwork, and for me it's just like, if I doubt myself, or the inner voice is saying something I don't want to really hear, the power of, let's say, asking for help or going and find someone else, not just rely on myself only to find always the way how to do things or how to move on, has power for me as the song. The song is just powerful for me and always giving me like I have really good gut feeling about this song.
Wonderful. So thank you for sharing, Monika. That was really a great conversation that you had. And yeah, I congratulate you for finding that better version of yourself. Okay, I'll pass it on to Ben.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you. So I will need one of our faculty members to help to read the wonderful contributions in the chat box, in the Mentimeter. Maribel, will you be able to do that? Or
yeah,
maybe
I can do
Manju?
that.
Okay, thank you so very much.
Sure.
Just need a little bit more time to. Here it goes.
All right. So what stood out for you in today's coaching session? Okay, so these were the answers that came out. Number one, the ability of the coach to listen so attentive and actively to observe the change in the subtle use of language over the 30 minutes is amazing. Gentle asking of permission, lightness and artfulness of the coach despite the lost frame in front of him. Lots of reflecting back is an incredibly powerful tool. The metaphor, celebration of our insights, coach drawing clients' attention to the language they are using to describe their world. I can see how the coach takes observation to a whole level of listening so deeply into the inner world of the client. Spotting I versus we words, has how the coach discerned so sharply into the client's thinking, and she has perceived her world and her struggles. Coach recognizing client's strong internal compass, which would help her in her life journey. I appreciate how the coach can balance the client's inner struggles that is so invisible without turning them into an issue to resolve, and expand the mind to learn and reflect. Awesome. The coach's provocative and evocative approach to managing issues in such a positive, healthy manner. The space is spacious and safe and filled with such aliveness, directiveness in his observations, the way you talk about like this is like XXX. Coach's ability to quickly rapport with client, the coach's, okay, I read that. The reflection to highlight we versus you versus I. Appreciate the coach's amazing ability and personality to bring such positive energy to this transformative space. It is inviting, reflective, provoking, and challenging. It's a subtle observation and a gentle way of sharing from the coach that empower the client to share and discover more about her own insights. I can see how the approach expands the mind to deepen the learning a lot of observations demonstrate.
Oh,
There you
thank
go.
you, Mary Bell. So let all of us turn on the camera and give high five to a wonderful learning session. Woo, woo. Well, great. So I'm sure that many of you have a lot of interesting questions that you're